gotta do a couple. All right, what up, though? What up, though? Happy Saturday to y'all. What up, Reg?
What up, though? We're gonna have to get you some intro music.
I know that was a little
Yeah,
jazz.
yeah. Little kids be like, yeah.
I'm gonna do like I don't know if you watch the Grits and Ed podcast. That's my new favorite podcast.
Oh yeah.
Somebody did they thing. That boy be jamming. So
Yeah.
any rappers on here? Y'all wanna do me a theme song? I need you one for Confessions of a Landlord and What Up Though Fridays.
What's his name? What's his name? G Mac Cash or
Yeah, I can pay
GMT?
him because he do jingles.
Yeah. Yep. I got his card. He
I'm gonna listen to
going
DM.
going to get him to hook you up.
Yeah, I'm gonna have him do me one because I like his that he did for Big Rod Jewelry. I was like, this boy slap.
Yep.
I'm gonna reach out to him. I might have my favorite Detroit rapper Payroll give me one.
Oh yeah. Then you be on point. Then
Listen, nobody tell
people
me
be watching it just to hear the intro.
facts.
I like his what's his song, was it Hustler Ambition or something? No. Dang it. I know the name because people be talking in the mirror.
The affirmation song.
Yeah, it just can't I like that one.
Yeah, I like all Payroll stuff. Like he got some classics on him.
Yeah.
All right, let me find the Chrome tab. MailChimp. Let me just click on one. Like that's that one. All right, share this tab. All right, y'all. So this one is from Court Nerds. And this topic or the title is Tenant Demands Rent Was Too Complicated. Judge Cuts Through Her Lies. Eviction Karma. So let's check this out. Oh, wait, you got any announcements, Reg?
Nah, we can get right to it.
All right, I only got two. First, I want to thank everybody who came to the Real Estate Fridays. What was that, last week? With the land bank, we had like probably almost 300 people there. 280 signed up, and I think all y'all came because we was in there tight like some sardines. So I appreciate y'all for that. We definitely gonna do it again. I just gotta coordinate it with Mr. Scott and see what we gonna do. But I think the next one might be on Zoom, he said. So we see about that. Two, Chase Bank, the 7 Mile branch in I think it's like 7 Mile Burford Evergreen, something like that.
Yep.
They are having another event on the 21st. I believe she said. I gotta look at the text.
Is that the one you got me coming to?
No, that's the one we doing for Real Estate Friday, but you should come to this
Okay.
because
You
it's
know
this.
what, too? I'm glad you said that because I know one of the HUD certified counselors. You know when the buyers get that down payment assistance,
Yeah.
they
Oh, have them
got to
come.
get the homeowner certification. So I'll ask.
Yeah,
Um,
please. That'd be great.
yeah,
So, Wednesday, May 21st, join us for Financial Health Awareness Month. Protect yourself from fraud and secure your future. This is sponsored by Chase Bank. Free food while it lasts, provided by the Pizza Bar and paid for by Chase. Uh, RSVP by May 21st, but y'all ain't got to RSVP, just come. I need y'all to pack this out because I'm working on a great relationship with Chase Bank right now. And this relationship will help me to continue to give y'all free Real Estate Fridays events because I'm trying to get them to come on as a fantastic sponsor for us. So the more sponsorships I can get, the more free stuff y'all can get. All right, so I need y'all there. So, what other thing we got? Oh, I also posted a whole post on Lady Contract, all my social media pages, y'all, to show all the dates for the rest of the year up until August. I forgot we got to do a tax auction one, so maybe that could be September, and that'd be
yeah.
the last one. And then that'd be it, because then October going into the end of the year and blah, blah, blah. So, all right, I'm about to play this now.
the check stubs.
Okay.
I don't even know how y'all didn't even show nobody nothing. And then that just happened, what, in January or February?
So better grow.
Okay, Ms. Gross, your case is the case that we've already started. Is there a reason why you're just now logging into today's hearing?
Oh, she came on late.
I was at work. I had to leave work.
Okay. I'm just going to summarize what has already transpired up until this moment. The manager, Ms. Dominguez, has already sworn to me a couple of things. The first thing that she swore to me is that a notice to vacate was mailed to you on or around February the 6th, informing you that you had 30 days to vacate the property. The plaintiff also swore under oath that you are delinquent in rent and other charges. And as of today, rent and other charges add up to be $3,566.64. The plaintiff has also sworn to me under oath that you had a payment plan and that you defaulted in the terms of your payment plan with a previous manager, which she inherited. And so this is what I've heard so far with regards to the case against you. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give Ms. Dominguez some more time, if need be, to complete the presentation of her case against you. And then afterwards, I'll give you the opportunity to defend yourself, okay?
Do you want to know where to invest $1,000 right now? Well, forget about A.
See, this would make me want to pay for YouTube Premium because I think you won't have ads.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Well, really, in reality, the only thing that
she the tenant.
No, I think she the manager for the company.
Oh, because I'm gonna say she look professional.
have to add was Miss Gross stopped by the office and she stated that she wasn't making that much money anymore, and we told her, okay, you need to bring pay stubs and we can do an interim to where we can adjust your rent. We never did receive the check stubs. And then she came back with her pay stubs, and we told her that she had to go online to our portal to where tenants have to start the process of reporting any changes, or if they're due for their annual recertification, they are to upload these documents onto our portal. So I mean, again, I told her, I said, well, I mean, I can't speak on behalf of the previous manager. I can only go forward with the information that I have in front of me. And as far as, making any changes to your rent, this is what you're going to have to do. So pretty much that sums it all, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. So with that being said, Ms. Gross, I'm going to give you the opportunity to defend yourself. You may proceed, ma'am.
First of all, I mean, hello, how y'all doing?
Yes, ma'am.
I don't know her. I only met her. She just came into the office. She told me something completely of what the other manager told me. As far as the check stubs, I've been trying to get them up there. Miss Jessie knows.
Hold on, she ain't got to show her face in court.
I don't know. I think it depends on what court they in. Usually they have to all show their face. Because I know most, like all the other ones we watched, or even some of the ones I watched, they make them show their face.
That's what I thought, because anybody could be talking.
Yeah.
Miss Jessie is the one who told me about this process. I had a money order that was up there in October. They didn't never post it until I kept coming back up there. The letters was all getting mixed up in the mailbox. I have the letters. Then they told me that I had to pay so much amount of money, but I wasn't making that. When I went up there to return my check stubs to Miss Jessie, she left. It was another lady in there. Now it's her in there. So it was different people. In the beginning, you heard from me before. I felt like they were stealing like the money from people, because it's like several times I had to come and pay thousands of dollars. I got tired of doing that, something I can't afford. So my check stub, I never got them posted because Miss Jessie said, just take them with you. And then find out she left that week. So this had been going on previous before her. She don't know much about my case. The other lady, I went to the big office. She was supposed to give me 30 days before I can make the payment plan. She gave me 4 days to come up with $1,500 some dollars. I couldn't do that. I signed the paper at a later date. They signed the date for me. I only signed it. She put the date on there. How could I do that? And you said I had to have the rent before the 5th. I went to the big office. She said, no, that's not how that goes. I don't know who told you that, but that's not how it goes.
Right.
Okay, the last incident, I went up there and I was trying to get the payment plan because I had the money to pay. This is exactly what they told me. You know, I was upset, and you know, because I got kids, and it's like I don't want to go through it. And I've been like over here for years. I never had a problem like this. I had the money for the payment plan. She said, oh, well, since you upset, let's wait for Miss Janie Lovell to call you. Miss Janie Lovell never called me, and they never contacted Miss Janie Lovell because I called Miss Janie Lovell, and she didn't know nothing about me. Not nothing. So I waited, and now I end up in court. I went up there. The office was closed. Her car was there. Another brown car was there. So numerous of times I have videos where I went to the office was closed. Well, I found out they was transitioning into another program that I didn't even receive a letter about. Because I don't know if the mailman put it in another mailbox or whatever that be going on over here. I'll go up there, nothing still. I heard nothing from Miss Janie Lovell. She told me this. She said, you know what? I'm going to just give your case to Miss Janie Lovell and I let her figure it out. Okay, if you told me the woman was going to call me, why she never called me? I called her, and she still didn't know anything about me. She said, Ms. Gross, I think you need to just go back to them and tell them that they need to try to restart your payment plan. See, I hate for you and your 5 kids to be out on the streets behind something that could be avoided. I could never pay the amount of money. I never made enough. I never made enough for that. I don't even know where that came from. Even Ms. Jessie said, you don't know where that came from. They went off a check stub that I was making in peak. I only made like 2 weeks. After that, I never made enough to pay that much amount of money. I never did. So that's how I ended up getting behind. I've been over here for many years. I never wanted to go through all this. I even avoided going to court last time. I paid $2,000 some. I couldn't do it this time. I couldn't afford it. So that's why I'm end up here. But it's like they gave me a runaround about a pay.
Hold up. If she couldn't afford it, why she just didn't leave?
Yeah, and then when she said she went to the office and they was closed, she videotaped that, right? Because she thought that was gonna be like evidence for her. Like, oh, I recorded it. I went there 6:30 in the morning. They wasn't open. You know what I'm saying? So it's like
office hours, and then what you recorded, I'm sure. Well, maybe she didn't show the office hours on there, but who's open at 6:30, ma'am? They probably don't open until at least 9.
Yeah, but I'm saying like she didn't say the time, but she could have went there anytime after they was closed to show that they was, you know what I'm saying? She said she recorded that they was closed, but what time did she go there?
And then they ain't got no drop off box or nothing like that, or no little slot that go in the door.
Yeah, she could have paid her rent. That's the bottom line. She just giving more excuses. But I will say this on the side of like property management companies, this is where this backfires. So like she said she spoke to like 1 or 2 other people and they're telling her one thing and then this lady saying something different. If y'all not all on the same page or you're not keeping records, so if you hire a property manager, the landlord and property manager or any of the employees working on that property for the management company need to have notes and records so that whoever's taking over or talking to the tenant can have the same information. Because if she sound confused, she gonna show up in court like this. You might get one of them judges that's sympathetic.
Yeah, but then I don't know. I guess we gotta watch it because this don't make no sense to me.
Nah.
Payment plan. I don't think I was asking why come I could 30 days of the payment plan. Excuse me, I'm upset. Like they told me to. I didn't understand that. Even I signed the paper, it was late. How can I signed the paper like on the 21st or the 28th or something, and you wanted me to have $1,500 before the 5th. I never made that. My check stub don't even mount up to that.
So why would you rent?
Writing every day doesn't make you a better.
Hold on. So why would you even renting from them then?
Right.
If you could never afford it.
I didn't want to try to get help. Even the food stamp people was like, I'm not understanding. Why come you're going through this? You never made enough money to pay all this rent. In the beginning, they didn't receive my check stub because Miss Jessie left the office. I was dealing with her. She was getting my check stub. She got my previous ones. They was sent to her email. I don't know if they share the same emails or not. They was sent to her email. She apologized to me. She was like, I never did leave them. And when I left it, I went to K. Ross. I didn't know all that. They kept switching managers. And then it come to her. I don't know anything about her. We don't even know her. So it's like, and now I'm ended up in court, and it's like, this could have been avoided. I just wanted, if I was going to have to pay the payment plan, I would have paid the money. I would have worked hard to pay the money. But I didn't get the opportunity. I couldn't have that by the 5th, and you got me signed the paper on the 21st. I took it to the big office, and they looked at it. They said the same thing. How could she have that paid? That's not how we do our payment plan. I waited for Miss Janie Lovell. She's over it. She never gave me a call. I called her 2 days later. She said, honey, I don't know what to tell you because they haven't told me anything. She said, what I can do, give you a call back. I never heard a call. Now I end up in court.
Okay.
And when I left out the door, that's what she told me. She said, you know what? Just wait on Miss Lovell to contact you.
Miss Gross, just a couple of questions. Based on your recollection, when did you and any previous manager sign a payment plan? What month?
Right.
In February. At the no, it was the end of January. I was supposed to have it before February the 5th.
Okay,
but I couldn't afford it. It was
last month. Last month is whenever y'all initially agreed to a payment plan.
No, it was the end of January. She wanted me to have the 1,500 or something by February.
Okay.
And I couldn't afford that, but I can't.
Okay.
I just what happened, sir. I came with it a few days.
I heard that part.
Slow
I just want to make sure I'm getting my dates correct. So in January, you went into a payment plan with the housing authority, and I heard you where you said you're supposed to get at least 30 days. That's what your testimony is, to make the first payment. But what you're saying is that you were being coerced into making the first payment 4 days after you signed the original payment plan. Okay, so I got that.
Sir.
Okay, so let me ask you a couple of questions. Now I also heard you with regards to your rent. You stated that they were basing your rent from a previous employer, but you also submitted new check stubs to the previous manager. Is that right?
Yes, no, it's been the same employer. I haven't changed jobs. I've been there, but they had one off of the check stub. They had the check stub from the peak checks. Well, Miss Jessie had 4 of my checks before she left. I emailed her, and I'm gonna be honest. Me and Miss Jessie still keep in contact. She called me not too long ago. She said, Miss Gross, I feel unease, and I gotta apologize to you because when I left, I had stuff that I didn't take care of, and it was some of your stuff. She had 4 of my check stubs.
Okay.
She told me to email her.
All right. Okay. So in your email, you have.
So if you got these emails, you should have a paper trail then.
Yeah, and all she had to do was forward that email to them and say, this is my normal pay. Because I guess she said the check stub they got was for a peak season, which means that's not her normal pay. And she could have just submitted those other check stubs with it. Sound like her and Miss Jessie cool, and she was like, "Girl, I'm gone now, so I can't hook you up no more." That's what it sounded like.
Or she was paying her whatever they agreed to. She kept the rent and gave her a receipt.
That's possible too.
That's
That's why she ain't the manager no more.
She might be in jail. That's what she's doing. Cause that is stealing.
True crime solved.
Right. We'll be great.
Have proof that you did what you're supposed to do to have your income changed by sending your current check stubs to Miss Jessie, right?
Yes, sir.
When did you do that? Was that what month? Was that was it October last year?
No.
Or?
That was like I think around November or something. It's before she left. It's like a week or two before she left. She came by and she was talking to me. She told me she needed them check stubs. She gave me her email address, and that's what I did. But when I went up there, she told me they don't email check stubs, and I'm like, I've been doing this with Miss Jessie for so long. It's like the rules just changed overnight. They didn't tell nobody nothing. I've been doing this for so long. I've been over here for many years. I never had a problem like this. And then when I did, I paid.
All right. Okay. So I'm just trying to get some stuff together. So initially your monthly rent, what you were responsible for was right around $627 per month.
No, sir.
I'm sorry.
No, sir. That's not it. That's not it. That's not correct.
Prior to the rent going to $840, what do you have?
$840 was my rent.
Okay, $840. All right, that's what we have currently.
Yeah, $840 has been my rent since last year.
Your rent hasn't gone up.
Wait a minute. So she said her rent was $840, but where did $1,500 come from? That was 2 months behind, I guess.
Probably so. And they wanted her to catch up before they put her out.
But 840 times 2 is 1680. So this math ain't math.
Yeah.
According to what I
unless they was basing it off for the that ain't math. That ain't adding up, because unless she paid something in between, or some overage or something, or paid something towards it.
Let me go back to it.
You said it was $627. I said no, it's been $840.
But the reason why I said it's $627 because I have a ledger here which shows that rent on September of 2024 they were charging you $627 in rent. It didn't go up.
Yeah, but it went up in October.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes,
all
sir.
right. So let me ask you this, Ms. Gross. Is the 840?
Oh, girl, you couldn't pay $627? Or she had started having problems when it went up to the $840, which is still cheap.
That's what it sounded like. It sounded like she was comfortable at the rent. When it went up, that's when she started having issues. But I'm trying to see where she stand. The judge sounded like they're in the South.
Yeah.
So, yeah, because I'm like
50s up here, but what I'm not understanding is you had to agree to that new rental term. You didn't have to stay there.
Right. And if the 640 or whatever was the rent at the time, I'm pretty sure it was some other. If that's the going rate, it's some other places available at a rate that you can afford.
Yeah, unless she had like some low income place or something.
Unless Miss what's her name was hooking her up.
40 correct.
The 840, no, it's not correct. That's not the 840 rent is the 840.
I'm confused.
The 840 rent is correct. That's what they have me paying, but that's not what I can afford. That's not what my check stubs prove.
Okay, so your rationale by submitting the new.
Wait a minute. So she think they supposed to base her rent off her income. Now that's only true if you at a place that allows that.
Yeah, I think she under some type of low income housing program, and that's what she's trying to prove. I just don't think she's articulating it right, but that's what it sounded like. She was at 6 something. They got her check stub, and the check stub was way higher than normal because it was peak season, and then they raised her rent to the 8 something, which she really couldn't afford. But it sounded like she should have said that.
She ain't gonna stress me.
Check stubs to Miss Jessie was to reduce your rent.
Yes, sir. That's what we was working on before she left.
Okay. All right. Now, But based on what I have in front of me, it does show that your rent, well, they were only charging you $627 for rent prior to the increase. All right. Now, your argument is that your rent shouldn't have been $840 because you submitted the documents to Miss Jessie on or around November or December of last year, which would have reduced your rent, but no one knows what that reduction would be because the documents are not, have not, Miss Jessie, based on what you told me, Miss Jessie didn't submit them, and that you have not uploaded them to this new portal that they have now. Is that right?
Yes, sir. Sir, I'm gonna be honest. I don't know what the new portal is. She wrote something down. I don't know how to work it. They didn't even, I feel like y'all should tell us or explain to us how to work that. I don't even know how to work that. She wrote something down on a piece of paper. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know if the paper in all these sacks of paper, but I looked at it the day I left. I sat in the parking lot. I don't know how to work it. Okay. I don't even know how. Y'all didn't even show nobody nothing, and then that just happened. What, in January or February? Okay. She said it's a new team now.
And no one from the housing authority gave you instructions on how to navigate the new portal.
No, my mom don't even know how to work it. No, nobody has. No.
Okay, so I have just a couple more questions. Now, is there a reason why you haven't paid any rent? You didn't pay rent for October, November, December, and January?
Sir, I can call Miss Jessie right now on this line. October rent was paid. It was just a couple of dollars off. The money order, they even told me that they had it. So it's November and December. I'm honest. It's November and December, January and February. October rent was paid, but it was a couple of dollars off. Okay. So they didn't post the rent. The money order was up there. She even told me herself.
Okay. So that is that the roughly $1,500 that didn't get posted until January?
No, the $1,500 is what they wanted me to start paying as a payment plan.
No, what I'm saying is that on January 21st, the housing authority has provided documentation that there was a payment posted of $1,678. So was that the October's payment that you made?
No, October payment was $700 or something dollars. If I'm not mistaken, sir, I still got the receipt in one of these purses, the little small money order receipt. It was like $700 or something dollars because my rent was $627. What you talking about then? And it was a little light bill. It was off a couple of dollars. Miss Jessie didn't post it. I don't know what they was going through. The office was steady closed, and they was working on a something. I don't know.
Okay, so
but
October,
she told me herself. She said, Miss Ross, I know October was paid because I took the money order from you.
I wonder how many how many other tenants. So I do tell people, like, even when I'm dealing like with boards and stuff like that, or different like small businesses, I always say don't make it complicated for people to pay you money. Like, you ever had that happen where you call somebody and they be like, well, you send the money through this portal and you go on their site and their site always down, or that they got issues where they can't collect payments?
Yeah, you could always bring cash money.
Yeah, don't make it complicated for me to pay you. Just straightforward. No, I know where to send it or know where to pay it online at. Just make it simple.
But so far, it really sounds like she might be in the right.
Yeah, it sounds like
they really sure.
You said what?
I said I'm not really sure, but it sounds like she might be in the right so far.
Yeah, because they made it complicated to pay them.
Yeah, because I'm like, that don't make no sense. And then maybe she working during the times they was closed, so she couldn't physically give it to a person. And if it was online and she ain't no tech person, it just shouldn't be that hard.
Yeah, and I think her relationship with the other lady, they was cool, and she was like, the other lady probably was working with her more. But that's also part of the problem too, because you got to know, like, sometimes you can be making people dependent on you, and then when you leave, they just completely lost.
Yeah,
Right?
because the lady who was there, maybe she would just I don't know, maybe she would stay in the office and wait on her to get off work.
Yeah, or she was just communicating with her better.
Yeah, or if she the property manager, she probably got keys to everybody's stuff. So she like, girl, I left the rent on the dresser.
Right.
Something, but or it was some shady business going on. We about to see. Oops.
It's all this stuff with the 840 that goes on.
Okay, so from what I'm getting, looks like there was a couple of things that happened in October, and then this is based on what they submitted to me. It looks like you did, prior to October's rent coming due. And this is based on what they submitted to me. Prior to October's rent coming due, they submitted a document saying that you still had a balance due of $72.53, and that was due to excess utilities. All right. And then they're saying that the utilities was posted again in October was $67.50, and that was $140.03. And you should have also received copies of this. They're also showing that October 1st, another excess utility of gas of $8.16 was brought your balance to $148.19. And then this is where some of the confusion may come into play. They initially said your rent was $627 for October, but then they came back in and reversed it and said your rent was $840 for October. So that is where I can assume the housing authority took information that they gathered and increased your rent in October. So the
But they didn't let me know anything.
I'm sorry?
They didn't let me know anything. An access bill, I would have been paid that. If they would have told me, and I'm being honest, like it's been sweet women up there. Miss Jessie, she was one of them. If she would have told me I had that balance, it would have been paid. I wouldn't have let. October was paid. I got a money. She gave me a receipt afterwards. So I'm not understanding what's going on with October. I'm thinking this is for November on up, and I can click over and call her, and she's gonna tell you the same thing.
So
She paid
here's
October.
the thing. Okay, here's the thing. I just want to make sure that I'm clear. You're telling me a lot, Miss Gross.
A lot.
Do you have any documents to support your statements?
Now we about to see.
The October rent was posted. That I brought the money order up there.
Okay, I get that. I see that it was posted. It was posted late. I get that. It was 7:38. I see that was posted. And there was another payment of $940 that was posted late after, posted in January as well. I get that. I see that you attempted to pay October, but what I'm asking you is that, do you have any proof as to what you're saying? And I want to make sure I'm clarifying in regards to proof, because you're telling me that somebody at the housing authority said that it's 30 days instead of 3 or 4 days. Do you have any proof to support that?
Yes, and I can call Miss Jessie. She's gonna tell you she should have had time to make the.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you. I'm be honest with you. I'm talking about right now. Do you have any documents that you can give me that would support?
He's like, I'm gonna tell you one more time.
Right. So here's the thing. I want to say this to any landlords or tenants. When you go to court, anything that you think you might need to support what your argument is, have it with you. Like, if I knew I was going to court and I paid my rent, I want to have all of those copies. I want to have all the emails and submit it and have it ready to pull up just in case they ask for it.
Mm-hmm. And then
Now, I
have
will
it
say that,
highlighted if it's like a statement or something.
yep. I will say the property manager. So, like, a lot of times I'll see landlords go to court where they don't have like an attorney or property manager. And while she's talking, they'll keep trying to interrupt. Like, no, that was wrong. That was wrong. This is actually how you're supposed to conduct yourself in court. So when the judge is talking to one party, you let that whole conversation play out and you take your notes. while you know what I'm saying? And then when it's your turn, then that's when you respond back to what they said and you say your part. When you keep interrupting each other, it just make it a long drawn out mess. So she just sitting there like, I don't know what she talking about. This is the documents I got, and that's it.
Yeah, because the property manager ain't spoke the whole 30 minutes.
Yeah, she spoke at the beginning, but then like he said, when it started, they was already talking, and this lady was late. That was mistake number one, being late.
So now you look bad. And you ain't showing your face. So they might look at that like, oh, you ain't got time for us or something like that too. I don't know.
Yep.
Because even I had my little Zoom court with the city. This was like 2 years ago. I was at homecoming. And was like, hey, yo, I can't hang out right now because I got Zoom court this morning. And I was right there in my room on Zoom court. Like, then I could go kick it. I'm like, because I'm winning my little case today. I had all my documents ready for PDF attachments and everything, and I didn't even have to go that far. I'm like, so I'm free to go. And I screenshot to make sure I could see I was on there. Thinking y'all try somebody else.
Yep. Have it all together at one spot and be ready.
Mm-hmm.
That statement.
That ain't writing nothing down. I just went up there and spoke with them. Me and my stepmama went up there and spoke with them, and that's what they told me. As soon as I left the office, I went back over there, and she can tell you, I kind of was upset because I was like, I was getting the short end of the stick.
Okay,
And that's when she told me.
So the next question is, you said you sent Miss Jessie the emails in November to have your rent reduced. Now,
It was in.
Okay,
Okay, go ahead.
Now, one thing that you said, you've been over there at the Housing Authority for a while, right?
Yes.
You do know, seeing that you've been over there for a while, how long it takes to have your rent adjusted?
No, because I'm gonna be honest. I went in there and I'm gonna tell you the truth. You know, I'm not gonna try to get nobody. I went in there and did an adjustment and with Miss Heather one day, and she told me, "Go ahead and come up here, this and that." And 2 days later, she had it adjusted, and this come from Miss Heather Beards or whatever her name is. That came from her. So I don't know what's going on now because it's different things.
So,
What'd you
and
say?
then I'm gonna be honest, Miss Heather is the one.
What'd you say?
I knew it. Somebody gave her a hookup.
Oh, so we was right.
Yeah, she said somebody went in there and just adjusted her rent on the fly, and now she expecting that to be the way business as usual.
So I think what I said, well, we both might be right. I think she was probably paying cash. Old girl was keeping the cash and just showed in the letter that she paid, and she was keeping the bread.
That's possible too.
Mm-hmm. And that's probably why she probably quit before they could fire her.
Yeah.
Which was smart.
That called me on the phone. She called me. I was at work. She said, Miss Gross. She said, I know you haven't probably received the letter. She said, because you come up here as soon as possible.
Miss Gross, it's hearsay. Mm-hmm. It's hearsay. I can't. Here's the problem that we have. I hear you, and I'm not saying that I don't believe you, but the problem that I have is that, one, I don't have the documents in front of me, and two, you admitted that you didn't pay your rent for November and December, and you have.
I had the money.
You do.
But I had the money. She told me I was going on a payment plan. That's what I was going to tell you. She was like, I got this finally drawn all up. She said, could you come up here and sign these papers? I know it's a little bit late. She said, do not put no, this is what she told me. Just sign them. Don't put no date. We'll put the date on it. Well, I was told from the Housing Authority, I'm always supposed to put the date myself.
Okay, so here's the thing. Okay, all right. I'm going to tell you this, Ms. Rose.
Money, why she ain't pay it?
Travel spending can spiral out of.
Since she's so rich, I bet you she got some crab legs in the freezer.
She said she had the money, she ain't pay it. I get it. If y'all agree to a payment plan, you do want to have a payment plan approved before you pay the money. But what or without the payment plan, if you still plan on staying there, you supposed to have paid rent. So if it went from 6 something to 8 something, and you 2 months behind and you think you should still be paying $6, still pay the $1,200. You know what I'm saying? This way, if it ever come down to it, you're
Now
only
you
$400
owe the whole thing.
behind.
And
Yeah,
then you don't want to owe the whole thing either.
yep. And I see why the numbers added up because they included her utilities. Remember, we was trying to calculate the 600, how she got 1,500 behind. He had mentioned like she had some additional utility fees on there too.
So it sounds like this could have been avoided because you did not have to agree to the new terms.
Right.
I guess maybe when she agreed to them, old girl was still working there.
Well, even then, if she agreed to the terms, if that's what was presented to her, she should have kept a copy of it and paid based on those terms, because it sounded like she signed them, right? So yeah, and I would have put the date on there regardless of what they said and just paid that amount.
Yeah, she tripping. I was checking my little meter. You know, they be downtown with the meter today.
Oh yeah.
Of control when there's no system in place. With Navon's dynamic.
What you're telling me, I think you need to provide the court with more information. And
more people.
As of right now, the way it stands, you are still 3 months, roughly 3 months behind in back rent, only because the process wasn't followed correctly. You don't have proper documentation. All right. Now, you're gonna have the right to. I have to rule in favor for the plaintiff on this one because you are delinquent in back rent, regardless of whether or not they.
I mean, simple, lady. You talk for 23 minutes and you still gotta pay. So either you gonna pay or you gonna get put out.
Yeah, regardless of whether the amount was 600 or 800, you still didn't pay anything for 3 months.
Exactly.
If you thought you were supposed to pay 600 and that's what was explained to you and that's what the document stated, you should have still been paying that 600.
Mm-hmm.
And she kept saying, I got the money or I had the money.
I'm gonna go with past tense, had.
Right.
They recertified or not, you're still delinquent in back rent. That's the problem that we have. Now, whether or not you had some type of verbal agreement with them or not, I can't do nothing about that because that verbal agreement is that the person that you had the agreement with is not in court. And they can't agree, they can't provide me with statements and testimonies showing that they actually agreed to do this for you. Miss Jessie's not here. And Miss Jessie is still employed with the housing authority. And guess what? Miss Jessie, you think Miss Jessie gonna testify against her boss?
Oh, she still work there.
Think about
No,
this.
but she probably
So whatever hookup they had, she gonna be like, what hookup?
Right.
she probably gonna say what's right. You know, and I'm not. And here's the thing: I'm not gonna argue with you. Just like I understand, but my thing is, why come y'all just and say, "Oh, well, I'm gonna go ahead. Miss Lovel's not gonna be calling you. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna take you to court so I can have some." I'm saying, where's the communication at? You're going to court. Do you not? I have 5 children. Do you think I will be still in here? I would have been got my stuff and gone.
Miss Groves,
because I don't.
How you got 5 kids and you ain't no Section 8 or something? And where them 5 kids' daddies at?
Where are you staying that's big enough for 5 kids for $600 a month? It got to be subsidized. It got to be more than that, and that's just her portion.
Maybe.
Because even in the South, I don't know too many places that's almost nowhere in America no more where you paying $600 a month. I don't know if this sounds like it's an apartment or a townhouse or something.
I mean, it's a couple years $600 a month, but they a studio. It ain't no whole house.
No, that's what I'm saying. She got 5 kids. She got to have at least 2 to 3 bedrooms, right? So that rules the studio out. And if she under any government assistance, they're gonna require her to have a certain number of bedrooms. So,
even if she got a 3-bedroom, 5 kids plus her, that's 6 people. So you got 5 people in 2 rooms. That's a lot of
Yeah,
bunk.
well, yeah, it's got to be at least, unless she got all boys or all, I don't know.
Or the living room that became a room.
Yeah, that's probably what it is. Somebody out there like JJ with the pull-out couch, him and Michael.
Or the basement. Yeah, because they was in a 2-bedroom
Yeah,
on good times. I think they was in a 2. Yeah, because what was her name? Velma. Thelma.
Thelma.
Thelma. Yeah, she had her own room because she was the girl. Yup, and they was on the couch. Sure was.
Yeah.
Did you get the notice to vacate?
I didn't get no notice to vacate. I don't. When you said that, sir, I just got real quiet because I don't have no idea what are you talking about. Only notice I got when I went up there and they told me, well, the court date might be set this day. I don't know. We'll let you know. That's before Johnny Love was supposed to been calling me.
So you're
I
swearing
was
to
thinking.
me, you're swearing to me under oath that you did not receive the notice to vacate that the housing authority swore to me was mailed to you on or around February.
I didn't receive no notice of no vacate. Now I received a notice of saying I had to pay $3,000 something, and that's the letter I took up there. It wasn't no vacate. When I took the letter up there, this lady that's on the phone, you know, she told me, "Come now, I'm gonna try to help you." But Miss Heather told her, "No, just give her case to Miss Lovell, and she can tell you that's what I've been thinking and waiting on." And then when I got the court papers, I was like, "Okay, they're taking me to court." And you know what? I'm knowing it's not no fight. Only thing I'm asking is, can I get time to get my stuff and get out of here? Please. That's all I'm asking.
So what was
because I'm already knowing you can't win. But I'm just saying.
So what was all this for then? You could have
She
just
already
asked
had 3.
y'all wouldn't even have to go to court. They probably gave you a day or 2.
Yeah, if she, yeah, God damn, boy.
Like, what? Why are we here? Child.
For the safety of my kids and for me, because I've been working, can I get my stuff in? Can I go? Do I have enough time for that? That's all I'm asking.
So this is the only thing I can tell you, Miss Rose. All right, you have 6 days from today's date to do one of 2 things. All right, you have 6 days to move out, or you have 6 days to appeal. All right, that's how this goes. If you move out within 6 days, then you give them the keys and you move out. If you appeal it,
Hold on. But if she appealed, she probably appealed just to buy her more time.
Yeah, but I want to know what he gonna say what the appeal process is, because if she there another 30 days, she might have to. It might be added to her rent, the balance. Then they can go after her for that. So
that's true.
Your case will have to be heard all over again by another judge in the county court of law. But there's steps to appealing the case, and you have to make sure that you comply with those steps before your case can be transferred to another judge. So you got 6 days.
Well, I contacted legal aid.
But then I encourage you to contact them again and let them know that if you have questions about appeal, you can contact them and see if they can answer your questions in regards to appealing this case. All right.
But what are those steps?
I'm sorry.
Can you tell me those steps?
What you got to do?
In order for you to appeal the case, you would have to post an appeals bond of $1,680, or contact Lone Star Legal Aid, and they can assist you in appealing the case instead of paying the bond.
So either way it go, you got to spend some bread.
she gonna have to. She got to pay the $1,600 bond in order to appeal the case. When she owe $1,500 of rent.
So she would owe the $1,600 just the bond plus the rent is what this sounds like.
Yeah, if she lose the case, but then if she go to legal aid, they'll probably give her the steps to do it where she don't got to put the bond up. But then by the time that happened, she could have just moved.
And then
I wonder what the eviction process is, because he said she got 6 days I don't know if they're gonna issue a writ after that 6 days. She might be better off taking her chance with that.
But this my other question though. If first of all, who's to say legal aid can be able to do your case in 6 days from today? That
Right.
includes and them straight days sound like. And then
Yeah.
and legal aid is the free help, right?
Yup.
So it ain't no guarantee they gonna be able to get to your case. Not no 6 days.
Right. They can
Girl,
appeal it. If she contacts somebody, they can probably do appeal it for her and get it filed so she can. But again, it ain't like you said, it ain't no guarantee, especially if you're not paying anybody.
and then she'd have to put the 1,600 up still, right? Even through the legal aid.
It sounds like she might not have to because they may have a way around it if you're using an attorney, but it's possible. I know she do it herself without an attorney. She gonna have to put the 1,600 up.
Or maybe they got some money put to the side with legal aid that's for that. But
Yeah, but if she got $1,600, she could just pay her rent, or she can just move at this point.
yeah.
I mean, we say move. Why don't you just move? I know it's hard to find places that quick, but still, like, if you got $1,600, I'll just be like, here, I'm gonna give you the 1,600. I'm caught up. I just want to stay a couple more months and pay rent for that time. Or she just take the money and she really should have been looking for a place months ago.
But see, this my other question. If she do pay all the rent up to date, the landlord can still just take the rent and be like, I still want you gone, because they can still do that because this is gonna become a repetitive cycle. I gotta keep going to court. I gotta keep paying judges. Pay me what you owe me and go on about your day.
Yeah, they can give her a notice to quit, but it's gonna be harder if they collected that rent. Because then the judge gonna say, why exactly do you want her out if she's current on rent?
Good point.
Yeah.
I would just want her out. Cause if she get current, all she gonna do is keep getting behind, and it's gonna be a repetitive cycle.
Yeah.
Cause you do got those professional tenants like that. Was she over there thinking?
Those are steps.
Okay, and how do I do that? Like, I mean, I contact them, and then how would y'all know?
You would have to
They'll
provide.
contact y'all?
If that's a question you would ask them.
Right.
If you call Lone Star Legal Aid, if you go up there, and if you ask them,
He said Lone Star Legal Aid.
Yeah.
I'm about to look him
what
up.
how can you appeal the case, and they're going to ask you for information, then they're going to give you instructions on what to do next.
Oh, it's in Texas.
That's how this goes. I can't tell you step by step what to do on how to appeal this case, because that means that I am helping you out. The only thing that I can tell you is that you have the right to appeal, and I've given you a resource on how someone can assist you in appealing. That is far as I can go, Ms. Gross.
Okay, what is the date of the 6th day?
Girl, look at the
Before
calendar.
the day.
606.
You have 6 days from today's date, counting weekends. And I encourage
You said
you,
including the weekend?
including weekends. You have 6 days from today's date to appeal the case, counting weekends. But I strongly encourage you, don't wait until the last day. Don't wait until that 6th day. If you plan on appealing this case, you need to do so within 24 to 48 hours because it takes time.
So, yeah, I was gonna call them soon. So
No matter how many different times you ask the question, the answer is still the same.
Right.
the date will be April 2nd. I have to be out here, or like if I didn't appeal it, I'm trying to get the correct date. Because you said 6 days from now. You include you count today.
If you count weekends, then yes, that's the day. Yes, ma'am.
So April 2nd.
That is 6 days from today's date.
Because they're gonna ask this.
I'm sorry.
I said I asked because their legal aid. They're gonna ask me this question because I called him already.
You will also get a copy of the judgment. It's going to be mailed to the address of record. That it would have that information on there as well. Or if you want to come by and pick up a copy of the judgment, you can do so as well. And it
she gonna have to pick that up because she might not get that in 6 days.
No, she need to go. Yeah, it sounds like she gonna end up moving.
That's what I heard.
Yeah. But if she contact legal aid though, she got time. She can buy more time. I just don't know what it's gonna cost her with that bond.
Well, according to their website, I just looked them up. Lone Star Legal, they're in Texas. What part I'm not sure. So this says if you miss your eviction trial, the landlord automatically wins, and you could be asked to leave in just 6 days. The sheriff might post a notice on your door giving you just 24 hours to move out. But don't worry, you can still ask for a new trial if you had a good reason for missing the first one. You can also stay in your home while you wait for a decision on your appeal, but you'll still need to pay rent. If you're low on money, you might be able to appeal without paying the usual fees. There are different ways to appeal, but you have to act fast. You only have 5 days to do it. Make sure you follow all the rules carefully, or you can lose your chance to appeal. And they got a video here how to fill out the packet and everything.
Oh, that's sweet.
And they got different languages and everything.
So it's help out there. She wanted. She just got to read and pay attention and want the help.
And you got to do that, like they said, you got to be quick because while you appealing, they still could be calculating rent. You still got to pay rent.
Right.
So they don't even put the rent on hold and just have it all due. So now so if you don't pay the rent during that time, now that's about to add back on to the eviction.
But that stopped people from doing it. Just keep appealing to buy time if they don't like the court's decision. And
Which
then
makes sense because you still got to pay the rent. Is Detroit like that? Do you know?
Yeah, you still got to pay rent if you're still in the property. Whatever time period you're there, you still got to pay it. The rent don't stop.
Mm-hmm.
Well, sometimes you just got to know when the
hold.
Yep, know when to fall and walk away and move to a new property.
Especially when that eviction hit your record.
Yeah, I think a lot of times though, in all honesty, some people get they get late on their rent, then they keep thinking like, oh, I got some money coming, I'm gonna catch up. Or they made a major purchase and they like, oh, I'll be able to catch up on it. And rent wasn't a priority at the time. And then that second month get there and it's like, damn, 2 months behind. And instead of paying, 1 month and only being one, they just let it add up and they like, okay, I'm gonna try to save up and just pay it all at once. And that cycle, it just never happened. They get behind. So.
Well, we got a couple of minutes left.
How do you pick up a copy?
You can just stop by the office. You stop by the office.
What's your address?
929 Elm Avenue.
Don't tell her to stop by the office.
It's right across from Tony DeMario's.
Oh, stop by his office to pick up the
Don't tell her to stop by the office because she's gonna record it when it's closed.
Yep, I'm here at 5:05. They said they was open to 5.
Okay.
Yep.
The hours are 7:30 to 4.
She only spoke like
Monday
twice.
through Thursday, 7:30 to 3 on Fridays.
Okay.
Okay, Miss Gross. Good luck to you. It's gonna be a judgment. Okay. It's gonna be a judgment against you for back rent and court costs, and you do have the right to appeal. Okay.
All right.
So she got an eviction on her record now.
Yep.
I don't think she's gonna appeal.
So here's the thing. This is from the whoever the manager. That's how you conduct yourself in court. Sometimes you gotta let people talk and just dig the hole deeper. Like she admitted to being behind in rent. That's all you needed to hear. And she don't have no documentation saying she paid.
You want to do one more? This one only like 12 minutes, I think.
Yeah, we can do it. Why he don't just tie the dog up to the stroller and let the dog pull the stroller?
Because this is a commercial for training your dog. I done seen this commercial so much.
Yeah, but if he trained the dog should know to pull the stroller.
Right, but they using this as an example to say this is what you should not do.
Right.
That's how it's supposed to be. That's a big ass dog.
Yeah.
No, I can't get on the plane with him. Damn, all these ads. Oh, this beginning.
Miss St. Fleur, you
I already
ready?
know what time she on. She already got an attitude.
Good morning, Judge Corsi.
Morning.
Oh,
Yes, Your Honor, I'm ready.
She already got an attitude. She got the black power fro, and she
yep.
already got them just turned up.
This is sovereign citizen.
Yeah, no nonsense judge orders jail for
Oh
smooth
man.
proper citizen. Contempt of court.
Oh, this
Oh,
is gonna be funny.
yeah.
Thank you so much, Your Honor. I do apologize. I did have a trial this morning before Judge Wong, and we sent the conflict letter to the wrong, to the
It's
person who no longer, the staff attorney that's no.
Hold on, what'd you say?
It says sovereign citizen extraordinaire.
So who the lady at the bottom if that's the judge?
That's probably the
lawyer
plaintiff
for
or the
the
attorney for the
yeah.
no longer with Judge Berry. So my sincere apologies. And I thought my paralegal filed it, but she probably did not.
Okay. So you may proceed.
Yes, Your Honor. This matter was, a while back, Your Honor, in 2020. This was a legitimation action with petition for legitimation to establish custody, child support, and visitation. And when we went to court, Your Honor, we filed a motion to compel, I think, in that case, Your Honor, and opposing side, the defendant did not respond. Your Honor, per that order, Your Honor, we ended up filing a petition. The petitioner ended up filing a motion for contempt, Your Honor, because the court ordered that we end up filing a motion for contempt, Your Honor, because the defendant owed $2,755.40 of attorney fees. Your Honor, and I think that was encompassed because she failed to respond to the motion to compel, and Judge Berry granted me that motion. And Your Honor, we attached it to the plaintiff's motion for incarceration, Your Honor, that was attached as Exhibit A. Your Honor, since that time, Your Honor, we've appeared before Judge Berry a few times, Your Honor, and surprisingly, this is the first time Ms. Lott has appeared since that petition, since our trial in 2020. Your Honor, I've tried to reach out to Ms. Lott a few times, Your Honor, to no avail. Your Honor, she's been included on all of the email correspondence with the court. Your Honor, she's willfully failed and refused to pay the attorney fees. Your Honor, last time we were in court, I think Judge Berry, I thought she granted the contempt and stated that because we did request for incarceration, Your Honor, and I guess we're here and just we're asking that Ms. Lott is incarcerated until the $2,755.40 is paid, Your Honor. And Your Honor, I am asking for attorney fees for today. Your Honor, and even me having to file this motion and continue to, I guess, seek attorney fees from Ms. Lott, Your Honor.
What are you asking for today?
Your Honor, for today, Your Honor, I'm asking for $1,500, Your Honor. And I can provide my affidavit to the court, Your Honor. We had to communicate with the court, Your Honor. I've been practicing law since 2008, Your Honor. I've been in good standing since that time, Your Honor. I charge my client a flat fee of the $1,500 just to try to see, just so we can file this motion for incarceration.
Okay.
Incarceration, gotta go to jail.
Yes, I mean, yeah, I'm trying to see what this flat fee is for. 1,500. So wait a minute. She just been using an attorney and not paying an attorney. That's what it sounds like.
So that's her attorney, or I'm thinking she representing the landlord.
Probably so. I just because the way it started, it didn't really specify. She just went on saying how much the for non-payment of court. Oh, so for non-payment of court order fees.
Oh, dang, this got 1 million views.
All right, let's see what the attorney and
Oh, so she
the
thought she
judge.
had to pay. I guess from the previous rental stuff. I guess or whatever.
All right, Ms. Lott. Raise your right hand. You swear or affirm the evidence you're about to present in the matter down here should be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth.
Your Honor, are you judging me?
You want to call it that, but I assume you want to testify on your own behalf.
Yes, I do. And if the attorney is not going to be sworn in, that is a conflict of interest. And I have filed motions. I filed a quo warranto because I have searched for law licenses and I have not found any. There's been no true judges since 1789. And the United States filed a Chapter 11 in 1933, which lost their sovereignty as a government. So I can't even be heard here. I've asked the court to provide me documentation stating that this is an Article 3 court. I have not gotten anything back from the judge with any type of documentation from the Attorney General, from the Secretary of State. You guys have not had permission to try me, and no law is above God's law. So I cannot honor any of your laws. It supersedes every single law that you guys have given me. I have tried to settle this in court. I have filed a fiduciary relationship. 56. I am friends with the IRS. I have attempted to settle with a $20 money order because there is no money with the court, and everything was sent back. So rejection of payment is payment, Your Honor. And my religion strongly prohibits any satanic laws or rituals, and I cannot serve two masters. So either I don't even know what to do here in this matter, because I have asked to be tried in an Article 3 court. This is not a court of equity. God's law trumps all laws made by man. God also says no man should be judged or you will be judged. This is my religion. I have not broken any of God's laws. I have not committed any crimes. I have not harmed my offspring. I am the first lien holder on my child's estate. So there is nothing that I can do for Miss LaFleur, and I will not be paying it because my God told me not to. He gave me the instructions on what to do, and you guys refused it. You guys refused my quo warranto because it wasn't written in the way that you accepted, but I am not.
Hold up. So why did you hire her in the first place then if you knew all
Yep,
this?
exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like you ran up the bill, but all of a sudden it's not legal for you to pay, or it's against your religion. So why did you use the service in the first place?
Yeah, because you should have just represented yourself at this case, if that's the case.
She probably just became sovereign citizen, though. She probably just started claiming that.
This judge face is hilarious.
Under your laws. I am friends with the IRS. I have sent out my documentation. I have my own contract with myself. I don't have a contract with you guys. I have not signed anything. And I am not a 14th Amendment corporate war citizen. I am a natural person. That is what I have to say.
You have any questions for Ms. Lott, Ms. St. Fleur?
Yes, Ms. Lott, were you present in court for the petition for a legitimation with Tariq Crump?
Ms. LaFleur, can you provide me your...
It's St. Fleur. It's St. Fleur. It's not LaFleur. We're gonna quote all of these articles, make sure you get my name right. It's St. Fleur.
St. Fleur?
It's St. Fleur. Were you in court? I mean,
she about to cuss her out. This attorney, she's sick of her mess.
I'm not sure if any of the articles could tell me, but were you in court?
Questions. I have no further answers for any of your questions. I said what I said. This law does not trump God's law. I'm under God's law, and that's it.
Well, anything further, Ms. St. Fleur?
No, Your Honor.
Now I bet you they put her with in jail. She come up with that bread.
Yeah, that's why she smiled like, all right.
Now you want to keep playing this game? You know your afro about to be locked up.
She probably called all her girlfriends after this case. So it was like,
this is.
Yeah.
So she got to start asking for money up front now because she done messed it up for everybody else.
Yep.
All right, Ms. Lott, we have an order that was entered back on February 13th of this year, saying you had 10 days to pay this $2,755.40. Do you have any proof that any payment was made?
I have the proof here, and this was sent back to me. This is the money order that I sent to the court.
That's
Your
that
law-
$20 thing you said?
Yes, it is. That is the settlement that is written in your laws. I did send the thing. They sent it back, and refusal of payment is payment. So I will handle it with the IRS from here.
Well, $20 doesn't equal $2,755.40.
For any court fees cannot supersede to $20, and that is what I paid as a natural person. I don't know about any U.S. citizen. I'm not a U.S. citizen. I'm a natural person and a private American.
Okay.
So she getting sued for a loan?
No, they just pulling up her other records or a PPE loan without being a U.S. Yeah, how did you get a $20,000 PPE loan without being a U.S. citizen?
And you gotta forgive him. Girl, you about to open up a whole can of worms.
So she respect money when necessary, but now she's saying money don't exist, and I'm only gonna send in $20. That's crazy. I feel
$20.
whoever she sent the $20 to, they rejected it, but she also said money don't exist, and the $20 is money. So why was she trying to even send a payment in the first place?
So if money don't exist, so you putting gas in your car for free, groceries are free, your utilities is free too? Because ma'am, you would be in the dark, hungry, and no gas.
That's crazy.
Mr. Crump, who is a U.S. citizen, however, has also violated the own court order that he brought into matter, because my child is supposed to go to school in DeKalb.
Wait, if you sovereign, why your kid going to public schools?
Right.
Make that make sense.
Decided that he wasn't going to do that, Your Honor. This man is abusive.
Okay, so we on the same page, whoever run this page, because I'm like, how's your kid going to a public school, which is tax funded by the government?
That's crazy.
And at this point, I am over this whole situation.
Yeah, that's not before the court today.
She'll be reading the book.
Because I mean, at this point, I'll take it up with God.
God, girl.
I've not committed any crimes under God's law. I have not stolen. I have not bared false witnesses. I have not killed anyone. I have not dishonored my mother and my father. And I have not put any man before God. And I will not put any of you guys before God either.
That has nothing to do with you paying your bills.
Who had a baby with her?
Clearly, whoever probably but the dude, her baby daddy, probably on the same page.
No, it sounded like the dude got the baby because she was like he took him to another school district. I don't get you away from your mama.
Right, maybe he used to be siren. He was like, man, this some crap. If you keep siren, that means you don't need the government for nothing. That means you're self-educating your kid. You're not working for nobody. That means you're doing everything for yourself, I would assume.
Yep.
That means you self-sufficient. Girl, bad.
Back up. Go back in.
What?
All right, Ms. Lott, I'm gonna find you in contempt of court for failure to pay the $2,755.40. Order you incarcerated.
Oh.
That is jailed until you've paid the money.
I will be taking it up with the IRS, and I will be filing liens because you guys do not have liens over myself, my estate, or my child. So
You'll take it up with the sheriff first.
I will not, because the sheriff does not have any jurisdiction.
Turn yourself in, or the sheriff will come out and arrest you.
Jurisdiction over me, and the sheriff does not have any jurisdiction over me.
That's fine. Once you're released, I'll give you 90 days to pay an additional $1,500 for attorney's fees incurred by the plaintiff for today's proceeding. And I'll ask Ms. St. Fleur to submit the order.
Will do, Your Honor.
And include in that, the sheriff will notify the court when Ms. Lott has been arrested.
Can you guys provide me with evidence that you are Article 3 court and not a military court?
And we'll send you a copy of the order. Okay.
I'm surprised they listen. They let her say this BS. They heard her out. Like, okay, anyway.
No, again, that's how you got.
Anything?
It's good seeing you, Judge. It's been a long time, Judge. I hope the government is treating you well.
Yeah, it's the way to go. Thank you.
Happy Thanksgiving.
They about to go to lunch together.
Yeah, she ain't had to do all that though. She should have just got off because sometimes that just make it look bad. That just fall right into the conspiracy theory, like they all working together.
Yeah, she should like have a good day. Then call them like, girl.
Yeah.
All right, same thing.
Yeah, we have no further business with the. I have no further business with the court. May I be excused?
You send your order to Ms. Carr.
I definitely will.
Okay.
I put my information in the chat, Judge.
All right.
So when the sheriff come to you and get you, that mean they can arrest you as soon as they see you wherever you are, man.
Yeah, you gone. Like,
so they know you're gonna pick your son up from school, so they gonna do it there. Now you're gonna be embarrassed.
And then the kid gonna be embarrassed.
They're like, dang, your mama a criminal, dog.
And she ain't gonna go quiet. You know she gonna be yelling.
Mm-hmm. Oh, she still talking?
Is that everything for today?
Why she still on there?
Yes, Judge, that's it.
All right, Ms. Carr.
That's fun.
That's
girl,
fun.
Prison coming right up. Dang, some of these is long, like an hour.
Yeah, it'd be like whole court cases. So we gonna have to one day we gotta watch a landlord tenant with Judge Simpson, the one right there on the right.
The black guy.
Yeah, he funny. He in Washington, but he handle all cases. But we gotta have to watch this one when he does a landlord tenant case too.
Oh, I'm trying to see
episodes.
Judge says shocking 500,000 bond in public risk case. Oh, I don't know what that is.
Yeah.
I guess I could just search by his name, or if you see one, just send it to me, I guess.
Yeah, I'll send you some, and then we can download it so we don't have all the commercials in it too. We get it right from the courts.
All right, so this is the website with the law firm from earlier, the Legal Aid Lone Star. So look like they do a bunch of stuff. Maybe they just do evictions though. You can volunteer if you want, Reg. Go help.
I ain't volunteering for that. Did you ain't see them people? I'm good. They look like they have a bunch of potlucks, and they get mad if you don't eat their food.
You talking about the people who work there, or the people who?
Yeah, right there. The people on the screen. They look like they have a bunch of potlucks at work, and if you don't eat their food, they gonna be upset.
Oh my goodness. Let me see. Service. Must be financial. So basically you got to be broke to use them.
Yeah.
Oh, they do all this.
Yeah. Yeah, most legal aid services, you can get everything you can get from a regular attorney.
So I wonder how they make money then.
It's government funded, or it's funded then. I mean, you probably end up paying something though. Like if you do like some type of lawsuit, they probably get a percentage of the money like a regular attorney. But all the other stuff, and then they have like certain attorneys that'll do like pro bono cases and stuff like that. They'll take cases for legal aid. So it's just like a big support group where they just come in and volunteer their time and stuff like that as well.
That's really a big love for the people, because that sounds stressful. I don't think I could do that.
I mean, you got to think, if you're an attorney and you like, okay, I got my caseload is full, and then you want to give back, you might take on one or two pro bono cases where you're not charging for it or something like that.
Yeah, it got to be something.
They might get to write that off too. The attorneys do. They might have billable hours. They get to write it off or something. It's some benefit to it, I
I'm
believe.
about to say it got to be. But then you probably can really pick and choose which pro bonos ones you can do. Like, okay, I do this one because it's a little quick one.
Yeah. I've seen court cases where people they fired their attorney that they was getting for free.
I'm pretty sure they did because it was free, so they not helping you as great as they would if you were paying.
Yeah.
Free ain't always good.
Not at all. Not at all. Free is actually a bad thing depending on what service you're getting.
Yeah, because normally I like barter with people, but I said I'm about to stop doing that because I will always hold up my end and they never hold up their end.
I don't barter with nobody. I got friends that's in music. They always be saying that like we can barter. See if they give us the studio time, then we can do this. I'm like, nah, man. Pay people their money because like even with a contractor, right? Like if somebody come to you and you like, okay, I'm gonna give you a discount. Like let's say you get somebody a discount, um, 10% off or 15% off, but then you're a week behind on a job or you have a bigger job come up or something, and that person you gave a discount to start calling and complaining that you're a week late. You like, man, I gave you a discount. You know what I'm saying? But if they paid you full price, they should expect you to do the work on time with quality service. So I'm gonna pay you, and then whatever service I provide, you pay me. That's just it.
Yeah, because I tried out one of my subs on like some personal projects I had because I like to do that to see how you gonna be before I give you bigger stuff. Nope,
Yep.
I'm straight.
Nah.
Cause they be thinking I don't know what I'm talking about. Like I've only been in business since 2010. Like if I don't know nothing, I know construction. I might not know everything, but I know enough to be like I done made it this far. And I'm like, if
Right.
y'all would have did what I said, now y'all got to paint around stuff that y'all wouldn't have had to do. And I'm like, that's just retarded. But you know what? Don't worry about it.
Most people can get further, especially in the construction business, if they just knew how to manage projects and money. Like you don't even know how to do the work. If you can manage projects and money, you'd be good.
Yep. And stay on top of everybody because as a GC, that's basically what I do. But I also got to know construction, and you kind of like a babysitter in a sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe not a baby. I think you're only a babysitter if you're dealing with incompetent people.
Yeah, but it's a lot of them around though, so it's hard to avoid.
See, I don't deal with that.
Yeah.
I think the ones that deal with that are the ones you got to pick up, drop off, buy them. Come with all your own stuff. I'm not picking up nobody. I'm a girl.
Yeah, gotta pick you up for work. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not doing that. Them the ones you probably gonna have problems with. I don't do that. I
Yeah.
ain't picking
Or
up
you
nobody.
stop by to pick them up and they ain't there. Oh, I stayed out last night. I ain't there. Like, when was you gonna tell me that?
And you got to buy lunch every day for them every day.
Right.
I ain't doing all that. That sounds like look. I'm all about being stress free this year.
Yep.
Anything stress me or a person, can't deal with you no more. Have a great day.
Yeah, I'm just getting nervous out here for the tenants and the landlords. It's just I think we just had too much time where people got away with too much, and now it's coming back to bite them in the butt because the rental game is completely different, and every tenant that call looking for rental properties, they expectations are completely out of whack. Like they haven't been in the market, so the 850 calls we still get. I'm like, where have you been for the past 3 or 4 years? Like, it's really nothing to rent for 850.
The rent started going up at the COVID. Like that's when it really like it was going up like kind of like steady, but it
Yeah.
just at the COVID because all the tenants who thought, oh, I'm just not gonna pay my rent, so these landlords are okay. Now I'm just gonna raise the rent, get rid of you, and get somebody in here who actually care about the property. Or I'm just gonna rent Section 8 into hell with all you regular tenants. I've been seeing a lot of that.
I had somebody call me. They wanted to rent they was like, I need something to rent for 600 a month. So I put him in touch with some manager I know that got some apartments. Man, this dude
600.
called me back and was like, "No, I was looking for like a whole house, like a 2 or 3 bedroom or something, because of the type of work he does. He needs a whole house because he got like landscaping equipment or something like that he does on the side." And I'm like, dude, there's no 600 a month houses in the metro Detroit area.
Ever. Them days.
And if it is, you don't want to put your equipment there. So, I mean,
Baltimore ain't even that cheap no more.
I don't know nowhere. I haven't seen 600 rent on a single house in years, like
At
an
least,
individual house.
at least 10.
Yeah, I haven't seen 600 for an entire house, period, in years. Yeah,
Sir,
that's probably about 15 years or so.
I know been at least 10 since I seen it. Probably
Yep.
since right before the market crash. So that was, yeah, 08, 09.
Yeah, even then it was 2 bedrooms for 600. So I'm just curious, like where are people getting these prices from? So you got tenants that's been in their properties for 10 years or more, and they're expecting those same prices when they come back out into the market, or people that just never been in the market and their parents was renting for, 700 or 800 a month. So that's what they expect us out here. So yeah.
They got a rude awakening. So I don't know if you seen the video I posted, and it was like, if you left Detroit and you struggling to bring your struggling ass back home. You know how many people was going off on me in the comments? I just bust out laughing. I was like, if you ain't struggling, I ain't talking to you. So why are you offended? You must be struggling.
Right.
Because I
Yep.
was talking to you. And a couple people DM me was like, Asia, you right, because I sure brought my broke ass back home and now I'm back up. And then some people like, well, it ain't no jobs here. There are jobs here. If you are not properly educated and don't even have a high school diploma or a GED, where the hell you think you about to work? And if all you do have is a high school diploma and a GED, where do you think you about to work? Y'all need skills. There is a dire need for people in the trades, but y'all don't want to go do that because that's too hard. Okay, too hard, but you're making $2,000-$3,000 a week after taxes.
Yeah. So here's the thing, like it used to be a site, I think it was like How Money Moves or something like that, or Money Moves. It showed like all this data, like where people are moving from, what the average income is, what the population rate, what's the estimated time frame before the new population increase starts impacting like the cost of living. Like it had a lot of data. And what people don't understand, when you move to a booming city, you really only got like a 3 to 5 year window to really get it, because what happens is that city end up being the same situation you was in. So the example was like, let's say there's not, if your excuse is there's not a lot of jobs here and the cost of living is somewhere here, right? You move to a new city, they got plenty of jobs and the cost of living is here. Well, what happens is as the population grows, they're not building enough houses, so the cost of living start creeping up after about the 3rd to 5th year, because they had this population increase. And there's only so many jobs that you're going to have in any area at any point in time. But the cost of living start creeping up, but the wages don't necessarily go up because they got so many people to choose from. So early on, yeah, I want the best employees out there. So I'm gonna pay X amount of dollars per hour, right? 4 years later, when the population increased by 30%, I don't need to compete to get the best employees because I got plenty of them. So this is what we're paying. But in the meantime, the housing supply stays stagnant, and you got this extra 30% increase or 20% increase in population. And all of a sudden, the housing costs went up. Everything else went up. So that 3 to 5 year window is crucial. So when people move, that's why some people move too late in the game. Like the boom has already happened for a lot of those cities. And they're like, oh, I thought it was this. Well, yeah, you thought it was that because you're talking to people that moved there 8 years ago, right? So now when you get there, the block is already burnt down. You know what I'm saying? So you going from one situation to something that's worse. It looked good because everybody that was already there is eating good and they living good and they've already made the adjustments. So we just got to be mindful of that when we jump up and move somewhere. Like, okay, the economy is booming. How long has it been booming? And how long is it before it busts altogether? So
Yeah, because the way we going in Detroit, like these next 5 before the end of this decade is going to be very interesting.
yep.
Like very.
It's gonna be like that all across the country, like especially in the like you see cities like Atlanta, people starting to complaining about prices there where 15, 20 years ago it was the spot to be at as far as being affordable with Texas, areas of Texas. And it's still affordable, but then you have other issues because the population increased and the infrastructure wasn't necessarily built out that way. They had to build it as they grew, but that become its own issue. So we'll see. But yeah, if you left, sometime you might need to come back and reset, or you probably just went to the wrong place.
Yeah. But I be talking about the ones who went to like Cali or even Atlanta now. Like that junk high.
Yeah,
I
yep,
had this one lady reach out to me. She was like, she went down there with some money and it was gone in like a year.
yeah. And then sometimes it don't be changing your location, it be changing your mindset because like you you ever notice like when most of the time when you visit somewhere and you stay with family, usually with the family that live in the suburbs, right? So you like, oh yeah, it's nice down here. I like this, right? But then when they come up here, or they usually stand with the family that live in a nice house or nice area. So the perception is the whole area is like that. But sometimes we don't look deeper into things. We just follow suit with where everybody else is going. But yeah, it's just crazy. Some people do need to come back and reset. Your mindset got to change too. You can't just change your location.
That's true. Because I'm like, it really don't. I guess because I travel and I see what stuff costs at other places. Detroit is not that expensive,
No, for
especially
housing, not
for housing. It really don't cost much to live here to me.
the highest thing we got is auto insurance.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. But I think
Yep,
that's gonna change too with enough of these others coming here because they ain't gonna stand for that.
yep. But yeah, you gotta change your mindset. If you got bad credit habits in Detroit, you're gonna have bad credit habits in North Carolina. If you got bad money habits, you gotta change something about your mindset. Cause just moving, it changes your mindset if you're around different people that's doing things and they motivate you more. But yeah, then some people be moving because they be running from something.
That too.
Yep.
I don't know. It's gonna be interesting this next couple of years. And then like I be looking at all the programs Detroit got. I don't know about no other places, but I don't think too many places got as much help as they got here in Detroit. It's like Detroit, they trying to keep it black. They trying to help y'all. So I think two things are true. Either people don't know about the programs or they do know they just ain't filling it out.
Yeah. Or you know what? I was telling we just did a focus group with this housing agency, and they help people with all these different resources and with the different programs to like what they did was they're combining all the programs from different agencies, but they're like one central number, right? And then they could tell you how to get help. Like if you're in tax foreclosure, or you need repair grants for your home if you're an owner occupant. So and I'll get you the information once they put it out there.
Okay.
But one of the issues is I was telling them, I said sometimes us as a people, we so used to being rejected for stuff that we don't even try it. So like, or we feel like something's so complicated. I'm gonna go through all of this, and all through the process, in the back of your mind, you feel like you're gonna get rejected. So the minute you run across any small obstacle, you be like, "Oh, there they go again. They don't want me to have it." But the people that fight through that, they get it, and they're like, "Oh yeah, this is it. It wasn't that hard."
Cause I be applying for grants, all type of stuff, and some I win, some I don't. But my whole philosophy, if I don't apply, I never know.
Right.
That's the way I look at it.
I mean, them PPP loans, they proved it. Like, it was people that went in there like, I know I'm gonna get this loan, right? But then it was people that was just like, oh, they ain't gonna give it to me because I don't have this, I don't have that. And all the scammers went right at it and got it with no problem. They ain't even have businesses.
Facts. Where they just
So
made one up on the fly.
yeah, so it wasn't that complicated. But
But
yeah,
I wonder if we just make it complicated because we just not used to it, or maybe some stuff we just don't know how to fill out. And I do think it's the way some people explain it, because I think that's what helped me with like the stuff I be posting, because I just break it down like, all right, y'all, this is what you got to do, ABC, blah blah blah. And maybe if more people did that, maybe that'll help. I'm not really sure.
when I when I had the HUD contract, it was stuff. It was pretty simple because it was real estate related, but it was stuff on there they would ask you, even like with Fannie Mae or some of them. I would just fill out stuff and let them tell me what's wrong. Like, anytime I apply for anything, I fill it out to the best of my ability. If I don't know something, I'll either leave it blank or put it on there and be like, oh, because what normally happens, like, so they'll be like, I can't think of one of the questions, but they'll be like, oh, you missed this on your application. Are you such and such, or are you, like, they always ask, are you a sole proprietor, LLC, or corporation, or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
They'll give you the answer because they'll call you back and be like, oh, you missed this. Are you such and such, or are you such and such? Right. And I'm like, oh, I missed that part. I forgot to put it in. I'm this, so.
Yeah,
Yeah,
or oh God, I can't believe I overlooked that. I was rushing through.
yep. And then they'll give you the answer. Well, we're going to put it down. How many employees do you have? And you'd be like, such and such. Because, small businesses under a certain number of employees and income, right? So they'll be like, oh, we're going to put you down with small business. And you'd be like, okay. You know what I'm saying? Did the application get approved? So a lot of times we just got to go after it. And then if we get rejected, at least you took your shot at it.
That's how I look at it. And then sometimes you might get rejected and they still reach back out because somebody else messed up on their paperwork, and then they just went down the list. Okay, next person, it was you. Like when I won that first grant for my truck, that was what, the end of 2018, when they didn't award me to the beginning of 2019.
Right.
That was my fourth time applying for that same grant. And the day I applied was the last day, and it was due by midnight. And I was like, man, let me hurry up and apply for this. And that was that. And I ended up winning. But had I not applied, because I wasn't going to do it, I'm like, man, I don't never win. This is my fourth time, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, well, let's do it at midnight. I got a couple hours. And luckily I saved. When I keep reapplying for the same, I save all my answers. So all I got to do is copy and paste.
Right.
And then I end up winning. So that was 10 grand. That's how I got my first round. And then I just used that 10 grand to pay the lease. Yep. But had I not applied, I wouldn't have known.
Yeah, that's crazy.
All right, you got anything else? Let me check Instagram.
That's it. So we got the home buyer workshop coming out. You said you're gonna put your whole calendar of events up, right?
Yeah, I already posted it. I posted it a couple days ago. I texted it to you too.
All right, and then the next, I'm gonna get some information to share with your listeners and everything to them. Post next time we do it, or I'll send it to you so you can post it on your website, because it's a lot of housing stuff coming up that I think the public needs to know about.
If you got anything that I need to print out for the one we do in June, let me know and I'll print it out so I can bring it.
Okay. Is it gonna be? Are we doing like a PowerPoint presentation, or I'm just talking?
It's up to you.
Okay.
Just let me know so I bring my laptop.
Yeah, I'll talk to you and see what like type of time we got and all of that, now to determine how I'm gonna present and speak.
All right. Let me see if we got any questions. Do workers give you a hard time because you're a woman and try to stay on top of them and do the right work? Not no more. When I first started, I had a very hard time, but I'm very well respected out here now. I be having contractors want to work with me, but I'm just gonna stay what I got right now and go from there. But if I see like it's a couple subcontractors I follow, I'm gonna reach out to. Like they work look good, but I need to go see it in person. A lot of people don't know, and some just don't take advantage. That's true. Oh, the guy who's talking is right. They're talking about you. Let me see. Somebody said I want to be a landlord. I'm just not sure if I want to do a mortgage fixer upper or just renovate. Ain't renovating a fixer upper?
You know what? That's a good question, but I tell investors when you look, you have to be for certain on what you're gonna do. So it's
Yeah.
pros and cons to both. I know people that only want to buy turnkey properties,
Mm-hmm.
and that's of course that's ideal, but what price are you paying for it, and what's the cash flow gonna look like? Um, Renovation can be an issue too, especially depending on the area you buy in, because you got to think if you buy turnkey, you got to look at it like I'm buying an established business. This is the P&L statement for this business, right? So
Mm-hmm.
I'm investing into something that's already performing or that can perform as long as I put a client in that property, which is the tenant. If you buy a project where you got to buy it and renovate it, and let's say you got a 3-month project, that's 3 months of no income,
True.
right? But your money's still out there the same because you acquired the property, you paid the contractor, and that's 3 months of no income, and you put the same amount of money out there. But it's pros and cons. You buy a fixer upper, you might get it for cheaper, and you'll have more equity in it once it's done. And that's usually the case, not always the case, but you just got to think about what's going to work best for you and what's your risk tolerance.
Yeah, they also said I'm sure renting a free and clear house would be better. So I'm gonna try to answer that one. So I'm just not at the point where I'm ready to take out loans, and I've been
Yep.
in since 2010. Because one, when I started, when nobody lending in Detroit at all, so I had to use credit cards, my wholesale money, profits I made from construction. Now I'm at the point where okay, I'm ready to take out loans because doing it that way is taking too damn long.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I got to be careful, and I just don't want to over leverage myself. So I just want to take out two. I kind of want a half a mil because if I get a half mil, I can rehab Parker, Kirkville, and have some bread over to start getting the renderings and the plans to build on my lot. But if I just get the 250, that's cool too. But when I was asking around, they like, "AJ, that's too low." I'm like, "Damn, for real?"
Yeah. So here, if someone's buying single family properties, that's always the dilemma. So like if you got 100,000 cash and you like, okay, I'm gonna go out and buy me an investment property and rent it out. It's great to have a free and clear property and you making 1,500 a month or more, and you don't owe nobody
Yeah.
but the income taxes and your property taxes, right? And your insurance. That's great from a cash flow perspective. And you got the equity built up. So your balance sheet for your net worth look good, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you got some investors that live by, if I got $100,000, I'm gonna go buy 5 properties and put 20% down on those properties. So I'm gonna buy $500,000 homes and put 20,000 down on each property. I'm not cash flowing as much. You might only be cash flowing in that case, maybe $400 per door, right? But you got 20% equity in them starting because you spread it that 100,000 out over 5 properties. So now you got $2,000 coming in after all expenses compared to the 1,500 you got coming from the one property. Here's where that makes more sense, because when you got that one property and that tenant don't pay you, you still comfortable because you don't owe anybody, right? But your cash flow is stifled for that period of time for eviction. When you got 5 properties, one tenant don't pay, you still got money coming in. So again, it's all about risk tolerance and it's about preference. I know people that don't want any debt on anything, so they're gonna take that 100,000 and try to buy 2 cheaper properties with it so they can cash flow. It's just a preference.
Yeah, cause I'm just like I gotta take out bread because I done had Kercheval since 2017, and I'm at the point where I'm tired of riding by there and my shit ain't done. Cause I ain't
Yeah.
getting up. I'm losing money.
Yep.
Like, to hold that property every year is probably cost. I'm about to do some quick math. Let me see the insurance up there like $150 a month. It might be more than that. I'm gonna say 150 because I don't remember. That's times 12. That's 1,800 by itself. Then I gotta get the grass cut in the summer every month, sometimes twice a week. So that's 100 a pop because it got that includes the big lot. I just paid 100 the other day. All this rain, I'm probably about to have to get it cut again. So let's say 200 a month, half of the year. That's $1,200.
Yep. So people, the worst thing you can do, the easiest way to turn a good investment property into a bad investment property is buy it and sit on it vacant for 3 to 5 years. It becomes an absolute loss almost at that point. Because any appreciation in value you get, you've already spent it in blight notices, keeping the lawn up, keeping people out of it, the break-ins, the property taxes, and all of that. So buying real estate and wait is what everybody say, but it's really buy real estate, do something with it, and then wait for the value to increase. But just to leave it vacant, it's a little different for you because you got resources. You're a contractor, right?
Mhm.
So you probably could have done that property years ago, but you had other projects to work on. But the average person working a 9 to 5, if you don't have like a team or a crew where you can go and be like, okay, we're gonna do this month. I'll touch the property again 3 months from now, whatever. It doesn't make sense. I've never seen it work out to anybody's favor. We get all these investors buying these properties in Detroit for 30 or 40,000 years ago and sitting on them vacant, and they call me to sell them, and they haven't seen the property in 5 years, and they like, what's it worth? And I'm like $30,000.
Well, I
Because
think for me, oh, go ahead, my bad.
no, I'm saying so because they not factoring in the fact like I went by one property, she bought it for 15,000 7 years ago, and she ain't seen the property in 2 years. I go by there, there's a tree that fell down on the back of the roof. So no, your property is not worth 50,000. Like, what are we doing here?
No,
Like
no,
the
you're gonna spend 50,000 now.
Yeah, like the value don't just fall from the sky because you sat on a property. It has to be something going on with it or the area. Like you got good areas where the appreciation is there.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Cause like Parker appreciation is coming because like the one next door sold for 50 sometime last year, and the one across the street is rehab, and it was listed for like 280 something, but I don't know if it's sold. I gotta look at the CMA you sent me. But then
Yeah.
Kirksville, the one across the street, that boy sold for like almost 460. I bought
Yeah.
Kirksville for 2,500 in 2017. So if I sold Kirksville today, right now, I could probably get close to 200,000, and I'm
Yeah.
all in probably 45,000.
And that's why I said the area because like so you stay aware of the right areas, so you know the right areas. In 2017, that a property over there rehab like that wouldn't have sold for over 400,000. It probably would have been maybe 180, 200,000.
It was gonna
So
cost me that to rehab it.
yeah, so that's enough appreciation for it to make sense. Okay, I brought it, I waited, now I can put the money into it, and I still got a couple 100,000 in equity. A lot of people buy and they're just buying in random ass areas where there's nothing going on, nothing planned. They ain't look at the city. They not following what the city is doing. They not following the developers. They just buy some offbeat area and be like, oh, I bought the property for 10,000. I know it's gonna come up because Detroit coming back. Yeah, not all of Detroit is coming back. Not
I
at
mean,
least not in
I
those
think that
areas.
all gonna come back. It's gonna be in phases. The area you bought
Yeah,
40 years.
yeah. The area you brought is phase 12. You want to buy in an area that's like phase 2 or 3 or something. Because phase 1, you can't afford it. That money is already there. You just People just buy in the wrong areas at the wrong time when they're using that strategy.
Yeah, cause what made me buy Crucible was they was updating the Chrysler plant, and then the
Yeah,
next then a year later they announced that Jeep plant was coming. I was like, hell yeah, I knew what I'd be talking about. And then I knew I'm right outside. I looked at that. I knew I was like minutes from downtown. I'm minutes from Grosse Point, and I could walk the Belle Isle from there. It's probably a little over a mile, but that's the stuff I was looking at, and I'm like, all right, cool. Summer 2018, that building on Kirchville where not where the Bark side is now, because they used to be like a Domino's. That it's like a stretch of brick properties
oh yeah, yep,
where
yep.
Sister Pies at. All that was shit. Like that building where the it's like a bar over there called Morrow or something like that.
Mhm.
That building, the whole side of the building was on the street. All the
Right.
bricks had fell in. Like when I think then summer 2018, the guy bought it and they started fixing that up. And I was like, yep, I know what I'm talking about. Then 2019, that row of they're like blue 2-family flats, them all restaurants.
Yeah,
They started that, and I was like, okay, cool. I started noticing like little by little. Then the bike lanes came, then the handicap ramps came, then they started tearing down houses over there. Then people started buying. Then the lady across the street from me, she bought that warehouse, and now that's a bed and breakfast.
yeah,
So
yep.
I'm like, okay, cool. So now I see, like, if you drive down Kirchville and then hit Cadillac from Jefferson all the way to Mac, you ain't gonna see number dumpsters.
And you see all those you start seeing these lots. They'll buy a roll of vacant lots and they'll plant trees on them.
Yep.
So a lot of times those developers, they brought them and to not have to comply with any like land bank requirements. Oh, we're going to build on it to do this. They'll plant trees because after a year or two they can go back and do what they want
Well,
with
it
the
was
property.
7 with the Hines group. Cause remember that's
Yeah, yep,
remember they bought all that land over there. And then when
yeah,
the G plant got announced, they end up selling a lot of that land to them for like 2 point something $million. And
yeah,
then the agreement was they had to leave them trees there for 7 years minimum, which that time been done past because they bought them like 08, 09. And then
yep.
the trees are supposed to the type of tree that they planted supposed to soak up all the lead in the
All
soil.
the toxins,
Yep.
yep.
And it took 7 years for them to do it. I'm like, that is free. At first I was mad, but then when
Mhm.
I looked it up, I'm like, okay, I'm not mad no more. This is fucking genius.
Yeah, brownfield. So in everything you just mentioned, so like the average person that buy just a property here, they just buy random whatever's cheap and they expect this stuff to happen. Well, buying a property like that is just like analyzing a stock. What's going on with this company? What's the projections? What's the earnings? Like everything that goes on with a property in an area, you have to research all of that, not just the simple fact that it was $10,000. And we
Right.
get that all the time. I'm gonna buy a $10,000 property, and you go over there and you put 120 into it, and it's only worth 70,000. You can't figure out in your life why is it only worth $70,000.
Mm-hmm. That's great. But yeah, I can't wait to see what these next couple years. And then when that Greenway get done, because people been sending
Oh
me
yeah,
videos, I'm gonna start posting them too. Because people been DMing me like, "Damn, as you was right. You said do
yep,
this, that, and look what's coming over here now." This one guy, he don't him and his whole family done bought lots off the Greenway, and they just chilling and waiting.
yep,
Like he be sending me. I'm so proud of us. I'm like, and then you got the people from Atlanta who reached out to me, and they like, "Hey, you spot on," because it was houses that was 150,000 on that belt line. And then once the belt line started, they went up to 250. And now
right.
that same house over $1 million.
Hey, let me ask you this, because I had like 3 or 4 people from Atlanta just randomly call me. Well, a couple of them contacted me from Instagram, and they all brought vacant lots from the tax sale, but they all brought an e-course.
Mm.
And I'm like, what? who got the message out? So I went back through. I was like, I don't remember none of us talking about e-course, and
Yeah,
I
I
don't
don't
even.
really talk about e-course too much.
Yeah, but I do. There's one thing I did learn about eCourse, and it's like 2 other cities. So eCourse has, so you know how if you're trying to build a residential property, you got to submit the blueprints, the architectural plans, and everything to the city and get it approved.
Right.
They actually got like 4 or 5 designs already approved with the city that anybody can use. So if you go to their website and their building department, if you build one of those properties, the plan is already approved. You just got to buy the lot, secure the lot, and the plan is already there. So the design, the layout, and everything. And I think it's like 3 or 4 of them.
That's
Um, that's extremely smart. So
smart as hell.
yeah, but these people brought when they called me, I was like, maybe they didn't have the money to build or they couldn't find the right builder or whatever. But no, they just brought them for like $500, and they was like, "Well, we trying to sell them for like 3,000 or 4,000." And I'm like, if the market would have supported 4 or 5,000 for these lots, don't you think they would have sold in the tax sale for at least 3 or 4,000? But I don't know where. And it was like they brought them at the tax sale. 3 months later, they wanted to list them for that. And I'm like, the logic didn't make sense. But I originally thought they was buying them for that, but that wasn't the case. They just thought they can do an easy flip on them.
The only thing I can see about building an e-course if I know I'm gonna hold that property, I would, because you can just rent to everybody that work in Marathon.
Right.
So I can see that, but I don't know. I don't know too much about e-course. I did some wholesale deals down there years ago. And there was some nice houses. They were brick too.
Yeah, the market decent down there. It's like, you got a lot of spillover from Detroit, the Southwest Detroit area down there. But it's amazing that they went through the process of actually having plans already approved. I think more cities should do that.
So I wonder if I don't think Detroit would be that smart and do that. Cause they would have to have at least 10 different plans though. But cause they would have to have like 5 single family plans and probably maybe 2 or 3 2 families, and then maybe a 3 or 4 family plan.
Yeah, because we got such a variety of properties and neighborhoods here. So they would definitely have to have like a brick bungalow, a 3-bedroom brick bungalow between 11 and 1,300 square feet. They got to have a colonial design and a ranch design. And then, like you said, the multifamilies.
And then they're gonna need at least a 10 unit, because we got them, because our 10 units be popping up randomly. Like, who came up with this zoning back then? Like, you got a 10th unit on the corner and then the rest of the block single family. Like, who came up with this back then? Like, what?
Yeah, that's funny.
All right, we got to figure out what day we just gonna make these. Cause we do be random.
Yeah, we gotta put a standing date. Then people will know when they expect us, and they can always jump on.
Yeah, cause if it's a scheduling conflict, we could always just pre-record them, and then I just release them or whatever. You know what? Maybe we do that. Just start.
Yeah.
And then we'll figure out what time and day to release them, and then release them every week.
Yep, that'll be cool.
Yep. All right, then.
All right.
Thanks for coming on. Appreciate you. Tell the wife I said hello.
All right, and I'll see you out in the real estate streets.
Yeah, try to come to that Chase one though, because the last one they had, it was some big folks there, and I was there.
All right. All right, cool.
All right, talk to you later.
Text me the information so I can make sure I put it on my calendar. I live and die by my calendar. If it ain't on my calendar, I don't have no like spur of the moment.
Listen, I'm gonna start doing you like I do the Shine. I just make my calendar and send y'all the email invites.
Hey, that's the way to do it. Then, like, cause I got this. Like, if I say I'm coming somewhere, I'm there. You don't have to call and see if I'm still coming or nothing. But once I commit to it, it's on my calendar. If I don't show up, something happened. Like that's just the reality of it. I have to live my life that way because all that random stuff, like somebody will send me an invite on the day of, and no, I'm not coming.
No, I
Unless
got
I'm
something to do.
extremely bored and don't have nothing else to do in life. But usually I got like rest time scheduled on my calendar or date night or something like that. I ain't about to just be up and just going to stuff.
Even if I ain't got nothing to do, I got something to do. Especially if you're a
Yeah.
homeowner, there's always something to do.
Man,
My
if
mom
I
says
got
all
some,
the time. She like, if you own a house, it's always something to do.
right.
So I just registered for this Chase event. I'm gonna send you the link, and then you can add it to your calendar.
All right.
Let me add it to mine. So let me go back. I'm about to send it to you. Whoops. Okay, there we go. Let me email it to you. And then I can introduce y'all too. Do you know her already?
No, I just met her at the because that's where the Dean event was. The networking event was at Chase.
Yeah, because they sponsored it, I think.
Yup.
All right, I'm about to send it to you, and then I'm about to I just add Deshaun to my calendar. And he accepted because that's how he be knowing stuff. I be like, boy, y'all is funny.
Yeah.
All right, I sent it to you. I text you the flyer and I sent it, but I'm gonna talk to her because they need to go to maybe some type of partner influencer so I can go and help that boy out, like for real. Like, cause
Right.
at this big age, it's like, how does this benefit me? You want to come on my platform, use my resources. How does this benefit me? That's what I'm on right now.
Yup.
Let me make sure I signed up for this right. I spelled my email right because I ain't got no email yet. Because if it ain't on my calendar, I ain't gonna be there either.
Yeah.
I
So
told
I'll
her
look at
I'm
it.
at all her events and support and build this relationship.
Mm.
All right.
All right. Well, I will see you. I probably more than likely I'll see you at the event.
All right, for sure. Y'all have a good night.
All right.
All right, bye. Play outro and intro.